Jason is wandering the halls in Oculus Connect down in San Jose today, checking out all the cool VR games and new technology announced at the event. Now, much of the gameplay revolves around the upcoming release of the new Oculus Touch controllers. One game in particular really impressed him, and it made him feel like he was in the Matrix, his words. Let's take a look.
All right, I'm not joking when I say that I ended the demo of Superhot. By the way, I'm standing here with Piotr with Superhot. I ended the demo with your game. Pretty awesome game. A few minutes ago, my heart is still kind of racing, which I think speaks to both the kind of dynamics of the gameplay and just the immersive quality of virtual reality in general. First of all, congratulations on making such an immersive game.
Thank you. Thank you. It like a lot of it boils down to how you play it, because like in Superhot, time moves only when you move. So when you are playing really slowly, it's a slow game. Like the events are fast. It's a shootout, right? You grab a gun from the air, you throw a gun at the enemy. Well, you shoot, you punch enemies. But if you do it slowly, deliberately, it's more like a bullet ballet than like a fast-paced exercise. You can play it slowly. You chose to play it fastly.
I couldn't help it. Like, I wanted to move through the levels, and unfortunately that meant that I had to play a lot of levels over and over and over again, because you think you're seeing everything and then you realize there's a guy running at you from the side. There are certain components of it that reminded me of an old light gun game that you would find in the arcades called Police Trainer. Do you remember this game? Has anyone ever reminded you of that one?
No. We come from Poland. Like, arcades are not a big thing in Poland. Yeah. Our bigger inspirations were like the classic first-person shooter games, like first-person shooter games like Call of Duty, Quake, Doom, things like that. They were like a big thing on PC, and whenever VR appeared in the world, like people, the first thought was, hey, I would like to play a first-person shooter in VR. How would that feel, right? And it seemed like an obvious and easy conversion to do, but that's actually like a big thing to develop and design a new, like this big genre that has to be redesigned, right? So the first-person shooters, like from the PC, that was our inspiration. How to redesign it for VR rather than the arcade experiences where you hold a gun in your hand, right? Like, we're rather coming from the mouse and keyboard or gamepad experience than from the arcade holding a gun experience.
What's interesting to me about Superhot is that you were telling me before, but as I was playing this, that it started on the PC. Let's say it started in a very different kind of environment, and this wasn't too long. I guess it was March of this year, 2016. But when I'm playing the game in VR, it really does feel like the game was born to be in the virtual world. How did that come about? Because I mean, I have to imagine, even though it's the same game on both platforms, I mean, it plays very differently.
The story is long and fun. But like back in 2013, when we started developing the game, we had a successful game prototype playable in browser, free for all the players. And like around the same time, we were doing a Kickstarter campaign. There was a successful Oculus Kickstarter campaign, and like we got a lot of requests. People really liked our early Oculus DK1s, and like whenever they saw our game, we had this line, "I would love to play it in VR." So we contacted the Oculus. We worked together, and we produced some demos, showcased on the floor. Like when Oculus was just first at the E3 in 2014, we had a demo of Superhot back then, and the development of VR and the desktop version, PC version of Superhot, like it came in many ways simultaneously. Like we mostly focus on the PC version for the most of time, but we always had in mind like doing the VR thing, and the approach to making like a first-person shooter in VR. Wow, that changed a lot during this time, because when we started, like we thought that Superhot will be a seated experience, like you in your chair.
I couldn't imagine it like that after playing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like once you try the touch controllers, you try this immersive full body VR, like with hands presence is basically you extrapolate it to like full body presence, right? Once you try it, you think about like the ideas of the past, like you think about like, hey, I will play this first first-person shooter on a gamepad, and this will be so cool. And now you think, God, what those people were thinking, right? You start thinking like, did I say that it's going to be so awesome? Because like right now it's quite obvious that like the gamepad experience and the VR helmet is just like a big screen for you. It's not like this is game-changing presence in the game world. And with touch controllers, it is, right? So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but
no, I completely follow where you're coming from, and I think the interesting kind of extension of what you're talking about is with the touch controller. Moving in order to keep action moving is a completely different idea, different concept than when moving actually involves actually moving. Like, you know, in order to keep action moving on the screen, your body has to be in motion. You control the speed of those bullets flying by you. Well, yes, right. It is hard to do, right, in front of your eyes, let's say. And so it takes this kind of game experience and moves it into, I don't know, a movement experience where, I mean, I could see it's being active as opposed to being passive, let's say, which could be the case if it was just a hand controller.
You mean like active, like in a whole body sense, yes, right?
Absolutely. Like I said, my heart was racing while I was playing it, and I could feel myself moving. If I was to play that for a half an hour, I might break a sweat, you know, somewhere along those lines, because it's that intense.
Yes, it is an intense experience, and like VR, like as we see it, is as a place for those intense experiences. It may not be a thing that you will play like you play like computer games, like on a screen, or console games. It may not be a thing you play like that for long hours and hours, but like for those short and maximally intense experiences, VR is a place for that.
I love it. I really, now I think I need to get an Oculus just for this game because it was so much fun. Superhot. Piotr, thank you for talking with us. Tell people kind of when they can expect to get this in their own hands.
Yeah, so Superhot is coming to the world, right, with the Oculus Touch controllers. At least we will try to deliver it on the day. I hope we will, but you know how it is. It's like it's better to focus on the work and do a proper finished thing than just release half-baked things. So we believe in quality.
And it shows in the quality of your game. Piotr, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You can check out all of that special at Oculus Connect at twit.tv/specials. It'll probably be up maybe later tonight, tomorrow morning. You should subscribe, and then you will know exactly when it comes out. There's a lot of great footage. I watched a little bit. He does some great interviews with people on the floor, so check that out.